Mama Mondays is sponsored by Colorado Connected, a website full of ideas for parents. And now, here are the mamas. It's another Mama Mondays, everyone, and we've got such a fun panel today for you guys. Diane Miles is back. Of course, you guys know Sarah Lenti is here. And from Daily Blast Live, it's host and dad of two boys, Jeff Schroeder, back in the house. Hello, everyone. Do I have a question for you guys today? Somebody was talking about this, and it really made me think. What has been the hardest age to parent? And we all have kiddos that are in different ages, right. So I'm super interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So, Sarah, for you, twin boys, age 9, so far.
I loved the infant years because I could just put them in a stroller, go sit somewhere, eat dinner, and they slept. You know, like that. It was kind of 4 or 5 when the independence struck and a lot of no's. There's a lot of screaming at our house. And then now, because there's a weird self-confidence thing going on, there's some bullying, and that's been hard. They're internalizing things now. And so that's been a difficult change.
So
to
now
navigate.
You would say around
was
age
tougher
9?
than like the 4.
Infant.
Yeah, no, infant was easy to me. It was kind of like 3, 4, 5 was hard, and now it's hard.
Harder. Wow.
Bigger kids, bigger problems.
Okay, bigger kids, bigger problems, which kind of makes sense. But now, Jeff, for you, it's more of, it was tough for you when they were smaller.
Yeah, we just got back from a little vacation, and me and my wife, for the first time, got out, so my parents were in helping us, and we were just sitting back and mentioning this just the other day, and I'm like, wow, isn't it great not to have strollers or check that at the airport or carry that around or maneuver around a grocery store, in and out of the car at Costco, whatever it is. Those times seemed hard to me, just having that extra luggage, so to speak, around, along with your kid. But I did like the very infant stage. You would still go out to eat and leave them under the table right here. Good under there, buddy.
Right?
Yeah.
Under the table.
There's plenty of air under there. I don't want to look like
I'll be fine. No, I mean, we have questions.
Awesome.
In 20 years, you can ask my kids what the hardest part was, having this guy as a dad. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I remember the infant stage for me, with particularly my 15-year-old. As a baby, she cried everywhere we went. So I couldn't get away with the under the table because she was, wow, it's Abba. I know.
It's a little sheet covered and you can just put them under there. And
You'll never know. You don't even know they're
We would go to very loud restaurants purposely. No, I'm kidding. But okay, Diane, your kiddos are older.
Yeah.
And you've really gone through every single stage.
I've been through all of it. I would say when my kids were toddlers, horrible. My son was an escape artist. He loved to run away. And oh my God, they found him on one of the busiest streets. When I see kids escaped and they're like the helicopters and the news is like the parents, I'm like, don't judge them, parents, because you don't know what kind of person they're dealing with at home in this little 3-year-old. You don't know. Don't judge them.
Okay.
He was an escape, and when my daughter got to a certain age, he would take her. That was his partner in crime, so she would be on the street with him. Me and Terrence just knew they were going to take him from us one time. We called our parents, please come get them, because CPS is on the way.
Oh my gosh!
Please come pick them up. I always forget that until we were talking about it, and I was like, no, he was horrible. DJ gave me a run for my money for sure when he was
what
a toddler.
age are we talking? A toddler.
This is
2, 3?
I wasn't even pregnant with my daughter yet, so he was probably about 1 when he was sitting in the window playing with his cars, just like nothing's wrong. Everything's fine here.
Well, I recently read a survey, though, that it said 80% of parents all agree that it's the teen years or the pre-teen. We're talking 12, 13. And having been through that with my 15-year-old, they just get weird. Okay, at that age. They're trying to figure themselves out, and as a parent, you're trying to figure them out, and it's just like a clash thing that happens there. But I found that to be kind of a tough time, but we got through it.
Yeah.
Interesting time with the preteen years.
But don't you remember being a preteen? That was the hardest time.
I was weird,
I
too.
think of my youth was that
I was
12,
very strict.
13.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out who you are.
I would wear my brother's clothes because I didn't want to wear girl clothes. When I was 12 or 13, as crazy as that was, but my 15-year-old wanted to wear weird clothing and I know, I don't need to talk about her, but she knows what I'm talking about, Ava. This weird things. And so my mom was always like, you need to talk to her. I don't like what the direction she's going in. And so I finally said, just let her be. she'll
figure it
She'll figure it out, and she did. Right when she was 14-ish, going on 15, she completely switched. So I think it's like that little age where they're just very weird and different, and they're just trying to figure out life and who they are. So
I'm just waiting for like, you're not the boss of me. And
No.
What happened?
You know, well, like, and so in line with like where, like, what is one of the hardest times, like, yes, toddler years because my son was dangerous, but now having adults it's like I have to be a different mom. And the mom that I've been their whole lives, who nurtured and protected them, that is no more. Like, I have to allow they belong to them, and I have to allow them the freedom to figure out life and to make mistakes. And that is hard as a mom, because you want to protect them and coddle them and like, no, don't do that because of all the reasons. And now I'm like, you have to hit some of these walls, and I can't stop you from hitting them.
Well said. Well, I think puberty is a strange time too. Are you ready for that?
You guys are making me think about so much stuff. Oh my God.
So like being a parent is fun. No, and I think it's true. Like every stage has its challenges, right? And you just continue to figure it out. Yeah, like.
And it gets more expensive too as they get older.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I have 2 boys and my wife. You're doing that talk. And I'm like, all right. I gotta
The
do that
puberty talk?
Yeah.
Have you thought about how that's gonna go?
Maybe they could just watch this. I'll give it a little speech there on camera.
Well, do you remember when you were going through that phase and what you were
I had
thinking?
2 older brothers, and I was 5 years behind. You know,
Not as like.
I was always the young kid trying to play with the older kids, so I got my education from them. You
So
know?
there's a kid at school, I'm not going to name this child, but they come home and I'm like, what? So they will be educated via school without you having to say a word.
Yeah, but I kind of want to have that
You
talk.
should,
You know what I
though.
mean?
I
Like
do.
a proper parent.
Have you thought about what you're gonna say? Just
Yeah. Have ever
You
seen
don't
that-
have to text
No, you know what popped in my head?
so trying
No,
to
do
get
you know
it
what popped in my head? But I don't know what I could say or can't say on the show. With like, remember Kindergarten Cop? Girls, boys have peepees and girls have vaginas.
Yo.
You could also approach it through science. So I used a sperm donor, right? So you have to have an egg and a sperm. And somehow the two have to meet, whether it be through science or through a mom and a dad, and boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on my scientific vocabulary. I think I'm gonna give it to him straight.
No,
Kindergarten
listen,
Cop,
as evolved as I feel like I am, the main thing I say to my son when he leaves my house, and both of my kids, but don't bring nothing home you can't give back. I did, and you won't, so.
okay.
Have fun.
That's a good one. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that one down.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Jeff, we're gonna cut it there so that we don't go any further with
right.
the whole. But yes, get ready for puberty. Just saying. Okay. If you have any questions for the Mama Panel, send them over, join the conversation, and send us an email to mycoco@9news.com. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. Hey mamas, join the Colorado Connected community. Download memes, find resources, fun activities, and get social. There are simple ways to support other parents. Get creative with the kiddos and make friends. coconnected.org. They sponsor Mama Mondays on KUSA-TV.